Pokémon Generations gives us a look at some key moments from 20 years of Pokémon games fully animated. The series aims to explore these moments from the games more in depth, and while each episode itself is overtly a reference, we're going to dive deeper into some of the nitty-gritty things you may have missed. Hi, I'm JD with ChannelFrederator, and if you're like some of my friends, you might have stopped playing the games. And as we're 9 episodes into Pokémon Generations at the time of writing this, you are probably going to need some explaining to get you caught up. So grab your Pikachu-themed notepad, because we're here to explain, or Pokésplain, to help you get through the 9 game references in Pokémon Generations so far. Let's get started. Number 9. Regional Reimaginings, Season 1, Episode 1, The Adventure. Pokémon Generations starts off with the most in-your-face reference to the video game series. In case you're unaware of the series' intentions, it begins with a 1-minute intro that's sure to bring out all sorts of nostalgia. Right when the episode starts, we're greeted with the Game Freak logo, the Nidorino vs Gengar battle, and even the Pokémon start screen. Everything is exactly the way it used to be. And then the animation takes over the screen. We're treated to some of the most memorable locations across 6 generations of Pokemon games, including the Viridian Forest, Ecruteak City, the Weather Institute, Snow Point Temple, the Desert Ruin, and the Terminus Cave. Best of all, in the Terminus Cave, we see Zygarde in his complete form, which hadn't been seen in the games yet, until its recent debut in Pokemon Sun and Moon in November 2016. Already one step ahead in its first episode. Number 8, Lance's Lake, Season 1, Episode 4, The Lake of Rage. Episode 4, The Lake of Rage, shows the other side of what happened when the player and Lance infiltrated the Team Rocket HQ in Mahogany Town. In Heart Gold and Soul Silver, the player teams up with Lance, but the team up is less side-by-side battling, and more like split up and try to catch up when Lance runs ahead, leaving us to battle all the Team Rocket Grunts. For those of you who don't remember, there are 10 Team Rocket Grunts and Scientists to battle. Thanks, Lance. However, in the Lake of Rage, there's more to the tale. As it turns out, the player, or Ethan, is just a distraction while Lance and Dragonite infiltrate the hideout. In the episode, Lance fights off 5 Team Rocket members in a horde battle, while in the games, multi-battles weren't even possible until Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I know we're doing great things to help out Pokemon and everything, but after watching Lance's Dragonite absolutely wreck Team Rocket Grunts in Pokemon Generations, I kinda feel like he didn't really need me there in Gold and Silver. I mean, the guy wipes out 5 Pokemon with 1 flamethrower. How much can a 10-year-old kid really help? Number 7. Kyogre's Climate Change, Season 1, Episode 8, The Cavern. Oh, who lives in a cavern on the seafloor? Primal Kyogre! Our next reference takes us to Episode 8, The Cavern, where we see Primal Kyogre awaken and proceed to whip up some seriously nasty storms. In Alpha Sapphire, after Archie awakens Primal Kyogre, all we really see is a dark sky and some raindrops. This is obviously due to some technical limitations of the 3DS, but it's not all that scary for a storm that allegedly threatens to destroy Hoenn. However, in the cavern, the animation helps highlight the actual danger and destruction that a massive whale-like physical manifestation of the ocean can cause. With devastating winds, waves, and water spouts, you actually get the feeling that Primal Kyogre is going to destroy the world. Remember when you were younger and wished Pokemon were real? You might want to take that wish back after watching this episode. Number 6. Pokeplagiarism, Season 1, Episode 7, The Vision. This one doesn't require much analyzing. After battling their way through the Team Magma hideout in Omega Ruby, players are faced with confronting Courtney for the 3rd time. She acts as Maxie's last line of defense, while he and the rest of Team Magma try to escape to the seafloor cavern. However, the battle with Courtney lasts long enough for Maxie to escape, much to the player's discontent. In the episode, right before her battle with Brendan, Magma admin Courtney pays homage to a specific character from the games, herself. Courtney delivers almost the exact same lines as her game counterpart, with only a few words being different. I mean, we know Generations is pulling from the Pokemon games as source material, but come on, Courtney. At least be a bit more pleasant. In Omega Ruby, the player talks to Courtney a handful of times, and I always got the vibe she was a bit weird. But after hearing Courtney talk, it's official. She is way creepier than I ever imagined. Where's my old nightlight? Number 5. Tower Tales, Season 1, Episode 6, The Reawakening. You kids and your fancy animations. Back in my day, if we wanted a story of the burned tower, we had to mash our A button and read the tale, while walking 10 miles to the bus stop, uphill, both ways, in the snow. Okay, maybe not that last part, but the part about reading is true. The Reawakening takes what was previously a wall of text, the story of the burned tower, and turns it into a beautifully animated and fascinating tale that fills out the mythology of Johto. As the story goes, the brass tower in Ecruteak City was struck by lightning, burned down, and 3 nameless Pokemon died in the flames. After their deaths, Ho-Oh flew down and resurrected the Pokemon, who are said to embody 3 powers: the lightning that struck the tower, the fire that burned it, and the rain that extinguished it. Reading the story is one thing, but seeing the amazing beast trio come to life through Ho-Oh's magic is nothing short of spectacular, and witnessing Ho-Oh's power makes catching the legendary bird that much more epic in the games. Number 4. Looky Looky Looker, Season 1, Episode 2, The Chase. The chase tells us what happens the exact moment after the player beats Giovanni, and also introduces Looker to Kanto. Looker is an international police officer who travels the world in search of villainous Pokemon organizations. Since being introduced in Pokemon Platinum, Looker has been a mainstay to the Pokemon series ever since, so it's great to see him retroactively added to Kanto as the agent in charge of taking down Giovanni. We all know Giovanni is a bad dude, but to see a SWAT team equipped with Arcanines, Magnemites, and Machamps busting down the doors of the Viridian Gym is not only badass entertainment, but it proves that Giovanni was a high-profile target. Throughout the episode, we also find out that being the Viridian City gym leader was just a cover for Giovanni, which is partially why he flees after losing to 2 kids. As the episode ends, Giovanni walks off into the distance, and while Looker may not know where Giovanni ran off to, we do. In a special event in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, it's revealed that Giovanni has been hiding out at Tojo Falls, waiting to hear from Team Rocket. With Giovanni on the outs, this led to a vacancy at the Viridian City gym, which we all know after a couple years was filled by Blue. Number 3. Dear Old Dad. Season 1, Episode 5, The Legacy. We see Looker again in The Legacy talking to our rival, Silver, about his father, Giovanni. This actually isn't the first time we've learned about Giovanni and Silver's rocky relationship. It was fully fleshed out in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, but only a select number of Pokefans knew the truth. When Heart Gold and Soul Silver came out, a special event called Celebi was released, and players lucky enough to get Celebi were treated to a remarkable secret. If players brought the Celebi to the Ilex Forest Shrine, they were transported back in time to view a scene of Giovanni and Silver arguing, just like in the Generations episode, which reveals that Giovanni is Silver's father. However, Silver only explicitly called Giovanni his father in the Japanese version of the game, and it was edited out of the American version for, I don't know, some reason, leaving thousands of players to internationally quarrel about the truth. But Generations has spoken, and now we know the truth worldwide. You know, I used to hate Silver when I was younger, but now I kind of feel for the kid in a weird, redheaded Luke Skywalker kind of way. It's not his fault that he's got abandonment issues. Number 2, Blue's Blues. Season 1, Episode 3, The Challenger. Blue was the original rival, and the Challenger actually takes some time out to develop Blue as a character. Of course, Blue is just as arrogant as we imagined, but the episode also clarifies that life hasn't always been easy for the grandson of Professor Oak. When Pokemon Red and Blue came out, we only had Gary Oak as the definitive version of Blue, and Gary was a bit of a jerk. But in Generations, we discover more about our pointy-haired rival. In the episode, when Agatha compares Blue to his grandpa, Blue immediately snaps at her and calls his grandpa an old man, showing everyone that Blue and his gramps don't exactly get along. It makes sense that Blue would hold some resentment towards Professor Oak, especially when you consider the fact that the guy can never remember his own grandson's name. Not to mention, it's lovely to see Blue battling it out with the Elite Four and rising to the position of champion, since the only version of Blue I ever saw was the one getting stomped out by my Charizard. I don't know about you, but after watching Blue gain the title of Kanto champion, I'm about to go dig out my copy of Pokemon Red and reclaim my title. Number 1. Space Scoop. Season 1, Episode 9, The Scoop. Episode 9 is a love letter to the Delta episode, a special part of the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire remakes that weren't a part of the original Ruby and Sapphire games. In the Delta episode, players travel into space riding on Rayquaza. Yeah, you heard that right, riding Rayquaza, to destroy a meteorite, which itself is incredibly awesome. When the meteorite shatters, a black triangle remains, starts moving around, and reveals itself to be Deoxys. And almost exactly the same moment occurs in glorious animated HD in Generations. The Generations episode fleshes out an awesome in-game moment even more, and we get to see Rayquaza and Deoxys fight, which is better than any pay-per-view boxing match I've ever seen. And add to that a little bit of government conspiracy in the Moss Deep Space Center, and Episode 9 has everything you could need, in just a 4-minute short. Of course, how can we not mention when Brandon or May catches Deoxys with, wait for it, an Ultra Ball. Just one Ultra Ball. No Master Ball needed. I mean, come on, was there any question that this was going to be the top moment? It's too awesome. Once again, I'm JD, and thanks for watching Pokésplain's 9 game references in Pokemon Generations so far. Which moment was your favorite? What other one should have made the list? Comment below, and be sure to subscribe to get all the best Poké tips, secrets, and receive our latest videos. And if you like getting more from your cartoons, subscribe to ChannelFrederator, because remember, Frederator loves you.